Welcome to an unexpected episode of The Game Grind. I'm your host, King Crusoe. You can call me KC, and today's video is coming out in lieu of what would probably have been a live stream to inform you about the status of Let's Plays and live streams on the second channel. Probably for the entire month of August, and we'll see how much longer that goes into the future. Theoretically, by September, a solution should be back to normal, basically. But the long story short, and I say that even though this is probably going to be a longer video than I want for it to be, so let me do my best to try to summarize things. To put things into reference, where I particularly live, it doesn't tend to get very hot during the summer. And even when it does get pretty hot, it gets generally pretty cool overnight. The overnight temperatures act as a natural AC. The buildings where I live don't naturally come with AC. Maybe some of the newest buildings or some of the most recently renovated buildings have some kind of AC in them. But for the most part, buildings where I live don't have AC, and we're kind of used to living without it. The idea of having AC in my town is borderline laughable because you just don't need it. Like I said, even if it gets pretty hot outside, the overnight temperatures almost always take care of the problem, effectively. I've never unironically thought that we'd need AC in this town. But over the last few weeks, over basically July in totality, we've had a weird heat wave where it has gotten a little bit warmer than normal during the day, but not anything out of norm for the last 5-6 years. The real problem has been that the overnight temperatures have not been getting down to what they're supposed to be. So for reference, overnight temperatures where I live in the month of July, the average daily low is somewhere in the mid to low 50s. Fahrenheit, obviously, and that means that the house temperature is able to get down to the mid to low 60s, and if it gets down to there, that means it can get basically up to 95 degrees, which is 15 degrees above average here, and the overnight temperature can kill that. It can deal with it basically normally. Like I said, it doesn't even matter if it gets very hot, it's usually fine. In fact, a few years ago, we had a summer where there was like 3 months in a row where it was getting into the mid 90s more days than it wasn't. It was reaching at least 90 degrees almost every day for like 3 months, and I don't even remember that summer being particularly bad. It was warm. It was definitely warmer than normal, and maybe even a little bit uncomfortable, but it wasn't dreadful, and that's because the overnight temperatures were normal. July of 2026, overnight temperatures have not been normal. They're supposed to be reaching mid to low 50s. It's not unheard of for it to even get down into the 40s. It is abnormal for the overnight temperatures to not get below 60. That is abnormal, and we've only had a handful of days. I think I can count on one hand how many days in the last 3 weeks have gone below 60 or gone notably below 60. Like if they've hit 58 or 59, that doesn't quite cut it when the house is getting as warm as it's been getting. And because of those overnight temperatures not getting cool enough to cool the house down, it means gradually the temperature's just kind of increasing. Last week inside the house, indoor temperatures reached 85 degrees in my house. I can't recall a time in all of my 20 years living here that it has ever gone notably above 80. If it has gotten above 80 in the house, again, the overnight temperatures, it was like a one-day thing, and the next day it was basically down to normal because it was some kind of weird fluke for a day rather than an entire month, basically. And the problem is that for the upcoming weeks, every time I look at the forecast, it doesn't really change much. Those overnight temperatures aren't really getting below 60 degrees. They haven't for the most part all month, and they're not looking to do that very much, even in the foreseeable future. So the explanation to why there's not going to be any Let's Plays or live streams on the channel in August is because it's just too hot. When I did the last live stream for The Last of Us last weekend, that got the office up really, really hot. It was already like 73 degrees in the office when I started that stream, maybe 74. It was 84 by the time I was done. That stream was only 4.5 hours, and that was a big part of the weekend being in the 80 to 85 range throughout the entire house. Me doing that streaming didn't heat up the rest of the house. I kept my door shut, so it only got up to 77 at the same time throughout the rest of the house. It was just that the natural temperature still allowed the rest of the house to get up to that point throughout the rest of the day. I didn't even come into the office. It probably still continued to get hotter in the office on account of me trapping the air in here. The point that I'm making is, frankly, finishing off that game in the live stream last week was kind of a mistake because of what it did to the temperature, but that goes to show why I can't really justify doing live streams at the moment, and also why I can't record the Resident Evil 4 Let's Play like I was going to this weekend, actually. It's because it's just too hot. The house has been getting too hot. I'm dying. I'm already dying in here recording this. I just started recording 10 minutes ago, and it fortunately managed to get to a pretty normal temperature last night. Last night had a low 50s overnight temperature. Like I said, it's one of the only times that's happened in the last couple weeks. Hence why I'm taking the opportunity to record today's and tomorrow's videos, basically. I have to take the opportunity where I have them, because over the last week, I haven't even been in the office. I've been doing my day job down in the basement where the temperature is pretty moderate, and I otherwise haven't been in the office. I haven't turned on my PC or anything. I've just been, living like a hermit downstairs because it's the only place where, again, the temperature is moderate and where I'm not running so many extra electronics or whatever, even just for my day job, so as to get things unreasonable out here. It's very warm. It's abnormally warm for the situation. I'm very unused to a house getting up to 80 degrees, let alone above. This has never happened before. The problem with the overnight temperatures not getting cool enough to cool the house down for the most part is also very abnormal. And so I'm just kind of having to adjust to some things. I can't justify, with the way temperatures are acting right now and with the continuing forward, to do live streams or record. Like I said, I just cannot make that justification because it just gets the office too warm, and therefore the rest of the house a little bit warmer as well. It doesn't make sense to do that, especially not when I have an elderly father in the house, for whom higher temperatures affects more greatly. The way that I'm combating this is by not doing some of that extra content. There's some other extra content on the second channel that I'm cutting out of the schedule for August as well because of this, because of the amount of extra editing time that those videos would require. I can't really justify spending those hours working on the desktop if I don't need to. So there's plenty of cuts that I'm making to content schedule because of this. And the other solution is I'm getting a portable AC. Like I said up top, even the idea of getting an AC in this town is borderline laughable because it's just not something you need. Well, this summer we kind of need it, at least for the emergency situation. So at the time of this video's release, or the day of this video's release, I should theoretically be getting that AC in. And between getting that AC coming in and theoretically, if overnight temperatures go back to normal at some point, but they're not anytime soon anyway, I need one of those two things basically to happen before I can really get back into the swing of content like normal, because the temperatures aren't normal. So with the AC, still need to figure out like what it is we're actually doing with that, where it's going to be, plugged in and set up and stuff, because I've got so much stuff running in my office that to have the AC actually plugged in the office or anything like that isn't going to work. It's just not an option. It would trip all the breakers. So we're not doing that. So we got to figure out how we're using it, and therefore how I can use it in accordance with my actual content pace, and then in accordance with the rest of the house, basically. So I need the month to figure that out, and also hope that overnight temperatures start going back to normal so that I don't need the AC in the first place. But while we're figuring that out, August's content schedule is a little bit down, and the very first things to go out of that schedule are the live streams and the Let's Plays, because that's way too many hours bulk recording, and with all the lights and stuff like that, it's too much, it's too hot, can't justify it. So that's the video. I'm going to cut it off there before I go in and explain the exact 15 points that I just made all over again, right? I don't know how many points I made. That was a random number that I pulled out of my butt. But the point is, it's warm. Can't justify doing that content, so I'm not doing that content right now. So I'm sorry to the people who were looking forward to Resident Evil 4, and to the people who were looking forward to whatever the next live stream was going to be. Probably would have been Dad of War. At this point, I haven't thought much more about it because it's probably not going to start until September, whatever it is. So I guess I'll see you guys for basically any of my gaming content in September. The second channel is going to take a massive hit this month, but I'm basically going to have to rely on just doing movie magic videos on Mondays, just so that I can have at least one video coming out each week, because even the game grind and a brief review videos that I wanted to do on Wednesdays, get those back running again on Wednesdays this month. Those the particular videos that I have ready to be made basically are the ones that need so many extra hours of editing time for gameplay footage and stuff that, again, I just can't justify that at the moment. Maybe in a couple weeks I'll be able to, but if I'm able to, that means that I'll be spending those couple weeks just working ahead and getting those videos ready to post in September instead. So that's what things look like right now. That's the update. Sorry about the adjustments to content, but that is the way things look right now. So thank you for watching this video if you did, and if you're somebody who cares about any of that kind of content. I'm sorry it's postponed, and I'm sorry it's postponed. It's not indefinitely. Right now I'm penciling it in for September because theoretically temperatures should get back to normal in September, but even if they don't, we should have some sort of system working with the portable AC that we should be good. Fingers crossed anyway, because yeah, this is a very weird fluke of a summer. I can't believe that it's not even that it's getting so hot that it's a problem, it's that it's not getting cool enough at night. That possibility just never even came into my head, but alas, that is the problem that we're having. So I hope everybody else is staying cool out there wherever you are. I know obviously climate doesn't match everywhere in the country, let alone the world. I don't know how you Europeans do it. There's a reason Americans make fun of you for not having AC. It's because that shit is unbearable. So yeah, I'm gonna go now. Thank you for watching again. For now, I've been your host, King Crusoe. You can call me Casey, and I hope to see you guys in any of the movie magic videos that come out this month, even if it's not gaming related.